A shocking global statement. Today, global media is focused on one explosive statement that has sent shockwaves across the world. News outlets from Asia to Europe, Africa to America, are covering a remark made by the Russian president that openly insults current European leadership. He referred to them as little pigs and confidently declared that Russia will achieve all of its objectives in Ukraine, including capturing large portions of territory if required. This was not a casual insult. This was a message, loud, direct, and deeply strategic. Why this statement matters so much? You might wonder why such harsh words are being treated as breaking global news. World leaders are often aggressive in speech, so what makes this different? The reason is simple. This statement effectively ends any remaining hope of an early peace in the Ukraine conflict. For months, there was global speculation that international pressure or political changes might force a ceasefire. Some even believed that a change in leadership elsewhere could end the war quickly. That hope is now fading. The war is not ending anytime soon. By making this statement, Russia has clearly indicated that the war will continue, possibly for years. Short-term negotiations, ceasefires, or compromises no longer seem realistic. Almost immediately after this declaration, Ukraine appealed to the international community for more air defense systems and financial support, warning that Russia is preparing for a prolonged and intensified conflict. This was not rhetoric. It was a strategic alert. Why this directly affects India? At first glance, this may seem like a distant conflict, but its consequences reach far beyond Europe. If this war were to end today, countries like India would benefit significantly. Energy supplies would stabilize. Trade pressures would ease. Defense procurement decisions would become simpler. However, the continuation of the war forces difficult long-term choices. India now faces strategic decisions that cannot be postponed, particularly regarding defense equipment, energy sourcing, and balancing relationships between global powers. The bigger accusation behind the insult. So why did this statement come now? According to Russia, current European leadership, along with the previous American administration, followed a strategy aimed at weakening and eventually breaking Russia. The idea was simple. Trap Russia in a prolonged war, cripple its economy through sanctions, isolate it globally, and trigger internal instability. At certain points in recent years, Russia did experience serious internal challenges. For a brief moment, fragmentation seemed possible, but Russia did not collapse. Energy, power, and the fear of division. Russia believes that if it were divided into smaller states, global energy markets would shift dramatically. European countries could negotiate cheaper gas and oil by playing multiple regions against each other. By maintaining unity, Russia believes it defeated a long-term strategy of divide and control. This belief now shapes its aggressive posture, both militarily and diplomatically. Refusal to negotiate with current leadership. Another alarming part of the statement was Russia's refusal to negotiate with current European leaders. The message was blunt. Dialogue will only happen with future leadership, after years have passed and political realities have changed. Until then, territorial expansion and military pressure remain on the table. This raises serious global security concerns. NATO and the risk of a larger war. The situation becomes even more dangerous when viewed through NATO's perspective. If NATO concludes that Russia poses an imminent threat, it may justify a preemptive strike, claiming it acted to prevent a future attack. Such a scenario could escalate rapidly. Missile strikes, air raids, retaliation. At that point, the conflict would no longer be regional. The world moving toward uncertainty. If NATO and Russia enter direct conflict, the consequences are unpredictable. Will Russia respond with full-scale war? Will other global powers step in? Will alliances hold? No one knows the answers. What is certain is that the world is moving toward greater uncertainty, not stability. A strategic military agreement. Amid all this, a significant military logistics agreement between India and Russia has now been formally incorporated into Russian law. This agreement allows logistical military cooperation under specific permissions. Its timing is crucial. It signals that India will play a strategically important role in future geopolitical calculations, whether as a stabilizer, partner, or balancing force. Final reflection. Will there be a larger global war in the future? Only a handful of leaders truly know how far they are willing to go. What is clear is that the Ukraine conflict is no longer just about territory. It is about power, influence, and the future world order. And the path ahead looks increasingly uncertain.